and welcome to Library Yoga with me, Jane Stimpson from the LSC-CyFair Library, also a branch of Harris County Public Library, bringing you all of our events online this semester. So this is going to be our last yoga class of 2020, but we will continue in spring, starting on Thursday, January 14th. And then we will continue our usual yoga posting schedule of every other week, posting new classes every other Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So in the interim, over the next month or so, if you find yourself missing yoga, I invite you to go back and check out and redo perhaps some of the past classes on our yoga and meditation playlist. If you want to try something new, I would encourage you to check out one of my teachers, Afton. She has been my yoga teacher for almost 10 years now, and she is on YouTube at Afton Park. That's P-A-R-K-E. Her classes are awesome, and you will probably notice some similarities in our teaching style since I learned so much from her. Let's see, what other announcements? The CyFair Library will be closed and offline from December 24th through January 3rd. We will reopen up for curbside pickup of library materials and print jobs starting January 4th. We'll also be back online answering your questions starting January 4th. So December 23rd is your last day to contact us online or to schedule a curbside pickup. Is that all of our announcements? That's all of our announcements. All right, so we are going to start today's class in a simple sit. So I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that means for you this evening. You can roll up the back of your mat. I'm going to grab a block and just sit up on a little bit of height. You can take whatever sit feels appropriate and comfortable for you this evening. And when you get there, let's just start off with a few cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So inhale, take a deep inhale in through your nose, fill up. And exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out. Nice, let's do that twice more. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Last cleansing breath, deep inhale in through your nose. When you get to the top, take in just a little bit more air, make it this your deepest inhale yet. Exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Nice. All right, so let's set our seat. So sitting tall, pulling the waist out of the hips, pulling the rib cage out of the waist. The gaze is straight ahead. Eyes are soft, shoulders are loose, and the belly is full and easy. And we're not trying to control our breath in this first sit. I'd like you to begin by bringing your attention to the parts of your body that are touching the earth at this moment. So the horizontal plane of your body that is connected to the earth. Your glutes, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet. Just feel those points of your body touching the earth. Now I invite you to bring your attention up from the points of your body touching the earth up through your hips and your torso, your arms and your shoulders. Just doing a check-in with your body and feeling what parts feel maybe a little tender or tight, and what feels a little open this evening. Maybe just making a mental note of those as we practice tonight. And now I invite you to bring your attention to the crown of your head as it reaches skyward. And then feeling your body as this plane between these two, right? The plane of the earth underneath you, the crown of your head reaching for the sky, and your body spanning both of those. And now for the last moment or so in our sit, I'd like to invite you to set an intention for tonight's class for gratitude. To say that 2020 has been a hard year is an understatement. So there may not be much to be grateful for on the surface this year. But one thing that you, no matter where you are in your life, absolutely can be grateful for is the fact that you decided to come to your mat this evening, to be grateful for your body, to be able to move through the practice that we'll be doing, be grateful to your breath to hold you steady through this practice. So throughout tonight's class, I'm going to invite you to come back to that intention of gratitude for your breath and your body and yourself for making a great decision to come to your mat today. So bringing that into your heart, bring your hands to touch in front of your heart. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Inhale, thank yourself for being on your mat tonight. And on your exhale, bow your head, drop your hands, and then gently blink the eyes open and come back center. Excellent. All right, so we're going to start with our legs up in the air. If you have a block or something underneath you in your sit, you can gently remove this now and recline all the way down onto your back. Now we're going to be bringing our legs straight up into the air. So actually, if you wanted to move to a wall and rest legs against the wall, you could do that. If you use a block or something to sit up on, you could also bring your block underneath you and position the block right under your sacrum, that bony part between your tailbone and your lower vertebrae. And bring legs straight up into the air. Hands are resting long at your sides. The block is optional. It might just bring you a little bit more comfort. Now, knees can be really bent here. Legs do not have to be stick straight. And then once you're here, just take a few moments to point and flex the feet. And then circle the ankles in one direction and in the other direction. Excellent. And then gently bend both knees into your chest. If you had a block underneath your sacrum, bring the feet to the floor and gently lift your hips to remove your block. And then everyone can bring feet to the floor, roll over onto one side, and gently push yourself up and come into a tabletop position. So set up your tabletop so everything's squared up, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's start with some cat-cow. So on your inhale, dropping your belly, lifting the chin and your gaze. And on your exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin to your chest for cat. Inhaling cow, arching the back, letting the collarbone be wide. Exhaling cat, pushing the floor away, sucking your navel to your spine. Then take a few more rounds of cat-cow with your own breath and your own time. And, if cat-cow feels better to you with the opposite breathing pattern, so that you're inhaling on your cat and exhaling on your cow, that's fine. Do what feels most natural for your body. The point is that we're connecting breath with movement. Good. Taking a few more cat-cow. One more complete round of cat-cow. And after your next cat, come back to a neutral spine and then sit back on your knees. Okay, so we're gonna stretch our toes out, and I have to say this is not my favorite stretch, but it is really great to prep us for what is coming next in our standing poses. So we're gonna come onto our knees and stand on your knees for right now. Now flip your toes, and your knees can be together or hips width apart. I find this stretch a little less intense when my knees are hip width. So if you want to start out with like minimal intensity, try and bring your knees hip width here. Okay, so look back at your toes and really tuck them. And one trick that I've learned is to take your finger and actually help that little pinky toe, it might not be touching the mat, so help that little pinky toe touch the mat as well. Okay, now you can stay up on your knees. This is a really intense toe stretch as it is. To give it more intensity, you can sit back on your heels, and you're probably feeling that stretch in the back of your toes, in the soles of your feet. We're not going to hold this super long, but we are going to do 2 of them. So just take a breath here. Hands can rest on the knees. And then on your exhale, bring the hands forward, flip the toes, and just massage out the toes by tapping the tops of the feet on the earth. We're going to come back and do 1 more. Okay. Tuck the toes. If you have knees together and you want to widen them to make it a little bit less intense, go for it. Or you can bring knees together and see how that changes. Take a look back. Use your hands to help that little pinky toe come down. And you can stay up here and just pretend like hips are sinking back, or you can fully sink hips back and be sitting on top of the heels for this toe stretch. Just a few more breaths here. Last inhale. And then on your exhale, come forward, flip the tops of the feet, and really pad those tops of the feet to massage that out. Very nice. All right. Come on back. We're on our knees again. We're going to take a nice gate pose, a nice side stretch here. So bring your right foot out to the right. Toes are pointing forward. Leg is at a 45-degree angle. Make sure that this left hip is squared up over your left knee. Right hand to the right thigh. Inhale, left arm up. And on your exhale, side stretch to the right. Top palm faces down. Your gaze can be straight ahead. If it feels okay with your neck, you can gaze up underneath that left arm. Good. One last inhale. Then on your exhale, return. We're going to take a brief counter stretch. So left hand down to the mat, right arm up and over. If you wanted a little bit more core strength, you can flatten that left palm and maybe try and raise that right leg parallel with the earth. Woo. Good. And then come back to center. We're going to stretch it forward now. So take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, hands down to the mat or ground in front of you, probably if you're off the mat. And then walk the arms forward and bow the head. So it's almost like our top half of our body is in a downward facing dog right now. And forehead is not reaching the mat, although if it does comfortably for you, that's fine. Inhale. And then on your exhale, slowly walk it back. Come back on up, and we'll take the other side of gate pose. So left leg out, left toes point forward, making sure right hip is over right knee. Left hand, left thigh. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Top palm faces down. One last inhale here. And then on your exhale, come back to center, breathe counter stretch. So right palm down to the ground, left palm up and over. If you want, you can lift that left foot, maybe take a little side stretch. And then come on back. And then we'll walk the hands forward. So inhale where you are. And then on your exhale, bow the torso, walk the hands out like we're doing downward facing dog with the torso. And on your next exhale, slowly, gently walk those hands back in. Bring your left knee back in. And then sit all the way back on your heels and walk the hands out for child's pose. Forehead can rest on the mat if that's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to reach the mat though. And then as you're ready, without rushing here, lift your head and look forward at your hands, making sure fingers are spread wide and hands are about shoulder width apart. I want you to think about rooting down and forward with the hands, and then tuck the toes, lift the knees and the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Once you get there, bend one knee at a time, walk your dog. Pressing down and forward with the hands, hips pressing to the back of your mat. Making sure spine is long, shoulders aren't crunched up around the ears. When you feel like you've walked your dog enough, return to 2 straight legs. And then slowly, really taking your time, walk the feet forward towards your hands. When you get there, leave feet hips width apart, maybe grab opposite elbow, and just sway from side to side. Release your elbows if you had them clasped, and slowly, gently, with knees bent, roll up to a stand, one vertebrae at a time. Head stays bowed, shoulders roll back, and head lifts. Excellent. So we're going to start our standing series in mountain pose with what we call an expansive breath. So first, set your mountain pose up at the top of your mat. Feet are about hips width apart, and again, you can always measure this. If you take your 2 fists and bring them in between your feet, that's about hips width. All right, engage your leg muscles, your calves, your thighs. Gently tuck the tailbone. Hands rest, palms face forward at your sides. Take a moment, roll the shoulders back. Feel those shoulder blades melting down your back, shoulders away from the ears, and the gaze is straight ahead. Mountain pose. All right, now we're going to bring an expansive breath to this. So take a look just at me. I'll do this first one, and then we'll do a few together. So in an expansive breath, we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. We don't do that often in yoga, but we are going to do it with this expansive breath. So on our inhale, we're going to take our arms wide, palms facing out. We're going to lift our chin and our gaze as we inhale through the mouth. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring our hands together in prayer position, slightly bend the knees, and fold about halfway. So folding down there. Again, exhales are through the mouth. So this is what it looks like with one full round. Okay, that was 2 full rounds, but all right, so let's take that together. Set your mountain pose, hands resting by your sides. We'll be doing between 6 and 8. So if you want to just take your own breath and your own time with this, totally fine. All right. Remember, inhales and exhales through the mouth. Inhale, expand, arms out, look up. Exhale, hands in prayer, bow halfway. Inhale, expand. Exhale, bow. Inhale, expand. You can really arch the chest a little bit as you look up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, expand. Exhale, bow. A few more with your own breath and your own time. Going at whatever pace feels comfortable for you. You can bring a sound to this breath. Let's take 2 more rounds. And then just come back after your last exhale to your mountain pose. Now, hopefully, that expansive breath has given you a little jolt of energy, a little life back into the body if we were feeling a little lethargic. So this is one of those things that we can be grateful to our body and our breath for, the ability to use our breath to change perhaps our physical and our mental state. So just taking a moment to appreciate all that our bodies and breath can do for us. All right. So we're going to begin our standing series as we often do with our 3 half salutations to link breath with movement. So here we are in our mountain pose. And you can go back to inhaling and exhaling through the nose. That was just for that expansive breath that we were using. All right, when you're ready, exhale everything. And then inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward, bringing the hands wherever it's comfortable, mat or feet or thighs. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, pressing the feet into the earth to help you rise to a stand, hands reach. Exhale, hands return to your side. Let's take a couple more. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Knees can be as bent as we like. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back, thighs back, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, the hands return either to prayer or at your side. And last half. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. And inhale, last time, rise. Maybe take a little teeny back bend here. Look and see your hands. And exhale, hands return. Return to mountain pose. All right. So as we get into our standing flow here, you're going to notice a lot of heart opening poses and hip opening poses. Those are really great to help us cultivate gratitude. All right. So reset your mountain pose. We're going to start with a crescent moon salutation. When you're ready, exhale everything. And then inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold. Right foot steps back. Right knee to the mat. Flip the back toes. And on your inhale, you can either bring hands to the top of the left knee, or you can inhale, arms straight up by your ears. And then exhale, hands either side of your front foot. Flip the back toe. Come off the back knee. And step the front foot back to downward facing dog. Just a breath or two here. Good. We come out the way we came in, so inhale. And on your exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands, left knee down, left toes flip. Inhale, hands to the knees or by your ear. Exhale, hands return to the mat. Step forward with the back foot. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands return. Nice. Let's take the other side of that crescent moon salutation. As you're ready, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, left foot steps back, left knee down. Inhale, arms rise, whichever degree you prefer. Exhale, hands plant. Flipping the back toes, coming off the back knee, stepping the front foot back to meet it, downward facing dog for a breath or two. Knowing that you can always reset your dog if you need to, if you step back too far. Good. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps between the hands, right knee down. Inhale, arms rise. And in one exhale, if you can, hands down, step off the back knee and forward. If you can't get all that comfortably in one exhale, no worries. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, press feet into the earth to rise. Exhale, return. Nice. I'm going to flip my direction so you can see the poses we're going to add on to next. You stay facing in the same direction. All right, we're going to start adding on to our salutations a little bit here. So first, take your mountain pose at the top of the mat. And when you're ready, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back, right knee down, right toes flip. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, hands return. Flip the back toes, come off the back knee, and then pivot that right heel down towards the mat and cartwheel the arms up into your warrior two. And if you need to reset the feet here, like maybe you want to step this front foot in a little closer to the center so that front heel aligns up with back arch of the back foot, that's totally fine. Arms out, parallel to the mat, gaze over the left middle fingertips. Try and drop into that front thigh, but also charge up the back leg. So back leg and back arm are also bearing some of your weight. A couple more breaths here. Good. Deep inhale. And on your exhale, drop your right hand to the back thigh. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, up and back for your reverse warrior. And if you want to bring this left hand to your heart instead, make that connection with your heart and our intention of gratitude this evening, that's a lovely way to practice. Good. Last inhale in reverse warrior. And on your exhale, bring it back to warrior two. Straighten this front leg. Step the back foot in, just a stepper. Inhale where you are. And on your exhale, reach for the front of your mat. Kick your right hip back. And then bend over into triangle, bringing this left hand wherever it wants to rest. Somewhere along the left leg or down to your mat or a block. Right arm is reaching up towards the sky. Chest is opening, so right ribs are open towards the sky. Gaze can be up at the right middle fingertips or straight ahead. Triangle. Good. Now, bringing this right hand to your right hip just for a moment. Look down at your front foot. Very gently, very slowly bend into this front knee. And then you can bring both hands down to either side of the front foot as you come off the back knee. We're going to be coming down to our belly, so you can do that a couple different ways. Bring the back knee down, the front knee back to meet it, and lower all the way down, or you can step back to plank and lower down that way, your choice. Flip the back toes, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows hug in. Press the tops of the feet and the hands into the earth. Inhale, peel the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat for cobra. Shoulders down. And then exhale, lower again. Coming into down dog, your choice. You can either press up into plank and straight back, or you can come up into tabletop and tuck the toes and lift the knees and the hips up that way. Your choice. Downward facing dog for a breath or two. Good, inhaling here. Coming out the way we came in, so on your exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands, left knee down. Inhale, crescent move. And then in one smooth, long exhale, hands down, coming off the back knee and stepping it forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. And inhale, arms rise all the way to a stand. Exhale, hands return. All right, let's take that other side. I'm going to switch sides. You stay put. All right, reset your mountain pose. When you're ready, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, left foot steps back, left knee down. Inhale, arms rise to crescent moon. And then exhale, hands return. Flipping the back toes, coming off the back knee, pivoting the left heel down, cartwheeling arms up into warrior two. And if we need to, making our stance longer or shorter, or walking this front foot in a little bit more to the center of the mat to get that alignment we want in warrior two. So 4 breaths here. Pressing down into the pinky toe edge of that back foot. Pressing through the ball of the front foot. Almost balance. Good. Inhale here. And on your exhale, left hand to the back thigh, right palm flips up, reach it up and over for for reverse warrior. If you want, you can bring that right hand to your heart as you gaze up. Feeling the side stretch in the right side body. Good. Inhale where you are. Exhale, bring it back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten into that front leg, walk the back foot in just a touch. And then exhale, reach, kick the back hips back. And then bring that right hand down wherever it has the stability to press down enough so you feel that left side of the chest opening up a little bit more to the ceiling. Good. Bringing the left hand to the left hip. Look forward at that front foot. Gently, slowly bend into that front knee. And then bringing hands down to either side. Come off that back heel and step it back to either plank or bring that back knee down. Step it to tabletop. Lower all the way down onto your belly. And then flip the toes. Inhale, peel up into cobra. Exhale, release. Now, everybody press back into tabletop. So making sure that our hips are directly over our knees. And we're actually going to walk our hands out really far. So we're coming into puppy pose. So it's almost like the back half of our body is in tabletop and the front half of our body is in downward facing dog. So if you can bring your forehead to the mat here, great, do that. You maybe need to bring a block or a book to bring that mat to you, that's fine, to practice that way as well. So this is also known as heart melting pose. So really let your heart feel like it's melting down to the mat here. Just letting everything go. Good. And then looking forward at your hands. Come back up and start to walk them back in. And then to come out the way we came in, sorry, I had to think about what side we were on. Just bring this left foot forward between your hands. Inhale, lift the arms to the knee or by your ears for a crescent moon. And then exhale, hands down, come off the back knee, step it forward. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise to a stand. Exhale. Release. Nice. All right. We're going to do one last little a couple more standing series before we bring it all the way down. So retake your mountain pose, top of the mat. When you're ready, inhale, arms will rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Oops, and then to split direction, you stay where you are. Exhale, right foot steps back. Right heel to the mat. And come up, hands on hips. Okay, so we're coming into a warrior one here. So take a second and make sure that front toes are pointing forward. Drop into this front leg so that knee is over the ankle. And this back foot might need to step out a little bit wider. So you might need to make your stance a little bit wider. Those back toes pointing out at least a 45-degree angle. Hands on the hips. And if you can, try and encourage your hips and your chest to square forward towards the top of your mat. Sometimes it has the tendency to want to follow that direction of your back foot. Okay, so now that we have our legs set up, take a second and really get the spine long, really pull the waist and rib cage out of the hips the way we do when we sit. And the last piece of this is the arms. You can leave them on the hips. You can bring them to prayer position in front of your heart, or you can lift the arms straight up by your ears for warrior one. Few breaths here. Good. Inhale. And then leaving the legs exactly as they are, exhale. Bring the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, and pull the fingers down towards the mat. Inhale, arch the chest. And then on your exhale, bow down, bringing the left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Clasp hands, reaching for the sky, head bowing towards the earth. This is humble warrior. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, come back on up. Use your core strength. I know it's hard to come back up out of that. Release your hands. And then bringing hands down to either side of the front foot, coming off the back heel. Making your way down onto your belly, however you wanted to get there. When you get there, toes flip, elbows hug in. Lifting up to our cobra pose, shoulders down the back. Exhale, fold. Coming into downward facing dog again, however you like, whether that's through plank or through tabletop. Inhale here. And then on your exhale, step the right foot forward, step the left foot forward. Next inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise to a stand. Exhale, hands return. Okay. Let's just finish out that other side, and then we have like one last standing pose before we bring it down and stretch it all out. Excellent work. All right. When you're ready, inhale, the arms will rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. This time, left foot steps back, left heel pivots down. Hands to the hips as we set up our warrior one. You might need to reset the stance. So make sure that front knee is bent over the ankle, knee points forward over the toes. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle at least. And then hands on the hips help us square the chest and hips towards the front of the mat. Hands can stay here in prayer, or arms by the ears, warrior one. Good, last inhale in warrior one. On your exhale, hands behind you, clasp, and if you can, try and clasp them the opposite way, the way that feels weird. Inhale, hands draw down, chest arches, and then exhale, bow forward, right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, humble warrior. Head bows down, hands reach up. Good, all right, on your next inhale, use your core strength to bring yourself back up, release the hands. Then hands down to either side of the front foot, pivot off the back heel. Last time we're coming down to our bellies, so you can go to tabletop or lower down in plank. Last time, elbows squeeze in, lifting up to cobra. And then exhale, sit all the way back in child's pose. Now, knees can be wide in child's pose, knees can be together. I like to bring my knees wide, make sure big toes are touching. And a really nice variation of child's pose to take right now is to bring the palms together in front of you, so like your hands are in prayer position, and then leaving the elbows where they are, bending the elbows so that the prayer hands, the thumb touches the back of your neck here. And that's a really nice variation to stretch out the shoulders and the triceps a little bit. Good. Releasing the hands if you had them in prayer behind your neck. Coming back up into your tabletop. And then tucking the toes, lifting the knees and the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breath or two here. Good, inhale. On your exhale, left foot steps forward, then right foot. Next inhale, hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. And then inhale, bend the knees. Come all the way to stand. Exhale, return to mountain pose. Nice job. All right, let's just take a couple last standing poses and then we'll bring it down. So turn to your left or right, whichever way you can still see me, doesn't matter. And step the legs out really wide. Look down, make sure that toes and heels are in line with each other. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, get the torso tall. And then on your exhale, fold forward. Bringing the hands to the mat. When you get them to the mat, take an inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And then exhale and fold all the way down, releasing the head and the neck. If you want to take a little bit wider stance, you can slowly walk the feet out just a little bit. If you want, you can bring, clasp opposite elbows and gently sway from side to side here.
You can release the neck by nodding the head yes and shaking the head no. And then coming to stillness, we're going to take a little standing twist here. So bend the left knee any amount and walk the hands towards the left foot any amount. And point your torso and your right side ribs towards the left foot. So it's almost like your head, your nose could touch your left knee. And then walk the hands back center, straighten the left knee. And then switch it to the other side. So bend the right knee, hands walk to the right. Torso twist over to the right, almost as if we could, oh, hey, I can't touch that right knee with my nose. Then walk it back to center. And now walk your feet back in until they're about mat width apart. Then I want you to really bend your knees and come into a deep squat. So we're coming into Malasana pose here. So toes point out, heels in. I can get myself all the way down pretty comfortably. If you can't and you're up here, that's totally fine. You could also grab a block and stick that under you if that helps you be stable here. If you are all the way down, a nice chest opener is to bring the hands in prayer. Elbows up, press out into the sides and the knees, and really lift the chest up. So shoulders, we don't want to be hunched here. We want the chest up, almost like we're doing cobra here in our Malasana squat pose. Nice. Okay. Now, if you want to take an optional twist here, you can bring the left hand down to the mat, somewhere in front of your left foot. And then you can open up the right arm, lift the right arm and the chest and the gaze to the right. Good, come back to center. And let's take the other side. Right hand somewhere to the mat in front of your right foot. Left arm opens. Gaze can open towards those left fingertips. Good, and then exhale, bring it down and just shift back so you come back and you're sitting on your mat. Does not need to be a really fancy transition now. All right, both legs out. Bend your left knee and bring the left sole of the foot into the right thigh. We're going to take a Janu Shirshasana here. Inhale, get really tall. You can raise the arms above your ears or just keep them on either side of your leg, but either way, inhale, get tall, and exhale, fold over that right leg. Taking a few breaths here. Good. One last inhale. And on your exhale, slowly, gently walk it back. Bring this left foot so that the sole of the foot is on the earth, but it's still bent. We're going to take a different variation of a twist that we often do. So right leg is still out straight, left knee is bent. You can walk the left foot out a little bit towards your right foot if you need to. Left hand behind you, right hand holding onto the left knee. Okay. Inhale, get tall, and then exhale, open the chest to the left, twist left, looking over our left shoulder. Good, deep inhale. And then exhale, slowly return to center. We'll take the other side. So both legs out. This time, right knee bends, right sole of the foot into the left thigh. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, fold forward over this left leg. Noticing if your two sides are different. You can easily grab the left foot here if it's not a strain for you. You can do that and use that to bring your chest a little closer. Deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly release, come back straight. And now shift so that this right knee is pointing towards the ceiling, right foot on the floor. Right hand behind you, left hand holds onto right knee. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Last inhale. Exhale, return. And just for a moment, stretch both legs long, and we'll just take a quick Paschimottanasana. Inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, fold forward. Bringing the hands wherever they want to rest. Letting that low back be wide and spacious. And if you're feeling any tweaking in the low back, backing out a little bit. Starting to wind down. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Bend the knees so that the feet come to the earth. We're going to bring ourselves down to the mat with just a teeny little bit of core work, just a little bit to round off our practice. So we're going to come into boat pose. So bend the knees, soles of the feet on the mat, and walk the feet in towards your sit bones and lean back until you feel that point where you can lift your feet up off the mat and you're balancing. Okay? And if that point doesn't come to you, that's okay. All right, so you can have the feet off the mat just a little bit of a tiny bit, but if you feel okay here, I want you to lift the legs so that shins are parallel to the earth and reach arms out long. Now, if you have it, you could also bring the legs straight and hang on to those, right? It's wherever your boat pose is. Really tighten up the core by like firming your lower belly in, okay? All right, so we're gonna take a few high lows here. So this is high boat. Low boat, we're going to stretch out the torso and toes away from each other. Inhale, come back to your high boat. All right, let's do that 3 more times. High boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Okay, last one. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Y'all, I totally lied. Exhale, low boat. Oh, and then release it all the way down to the mat. Excellent job. I know I tricked you a little bit there. All right. Bend the knees so that the soles of the feet come to the earth. And then hug both knees into the chest and just rock a moment from side to side. Massaging that low back. Very nice. And then leaving the left knee bent, go ahead and extend the right leg long on the mat, just hugging that left knee in. Good, and then bending that right knee in so that both knees are hugged in for a moment. Now we'll switch, send the left leg long, hug the right knee into the chest. Maybe starting to take a moment to reflect on the great work you've done this evening, on all that your body and your breath have allowed you to do. Hug that left knee in. And then reach between your legs, grab the outsides of the feet. Bring knees and feet really wide, soles of the feet point up towards the ceiling for our happy baby pose. And if you like, you could rock from side to side here if that feels good. Acting as if we could bend our knees into our armpits here for a lovely hip and our groin stretch. And then releasing that. Send your legs long on the mat. Hands rest by your sides, palms up. You did it. You made it to your Shavasana and your rest pose. Congrats. So take a moment to get really comfortable here. Maybe bring the toes into touch and then let them splay out and spill out. Take a moment to snuggle your shoulder blades up underneath you. Maybe rock your head from side to side until your head is in that perfect, comfortable position it wants to rest in. And then take rest. Let everything release and relax into the mat. Again, we can use our breath to help us do this. So take in a deep inhale. And then exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out. Deep inhale through your nose, make it bigger than your first one. Hold it at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Last one, make this your deepest, biggest inhale of the evening. Inhale through the nose, hold it in. Sip in a little bit more air, hold it. And then exhale your loudest, deepest sigh of the night. Sigh it out. Good. And then just let it go. Let the breath go, let the body go. And find relaxation. Start to bring life back into the body. Taking a deep inhale. And begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Circling the wrists and the ankles in one direction and the other direction. Stretching the arms long overhead, away from the toes, taking a nice morning stretch. And then bending your knees so that the feet come to the earth. Roll over onto one side. Just the last couple of breaths here in your fetal pose. And then keeping your eyes closed, no rushing. Taking your time. Use your hands to push yourself up to a seated position.
And when you get there with the eyes still closed, bring the hands together, palms touching in front of the heart, thumb connected to your breastbone. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this evening and this year. I hope that no matter what this year has brought for you, this evening you've been able to find some gratitude for yourself and your body and your breath and your willingness to come to the mat and practice with me tonight. I am grateful for all of you. Bowing the head, dropping the hands, and gently blinking the eyes open, coming on back. All right. Thank you so much for practicing with me, yogis. I will see you again next year for our spring yoga classes starting on January 14th, 2021. Take care.